Welcome to the Builders of Authority podcast, a show committed to helping you build authority for your brand. In the realm of business and personal branding, authority stands as a cornerstone. Authority isn't built overnight, it's built over time. So join us as we build something remarkable together. And now, here's your host, Adam McChesney.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Builders of Authority podcast. We're live here at Adventure Unknown in Fenton, Missouri. If you're in the St. Louis area and you haven't been out to AU before, send me a message. I would love the opportunity to show you around, give you a tour, show you exactly where we do the podcast, meet the team at Trueline Media Group that helps make all this stuff possible. I actually just moved my office in next door, so you can see that by the time this episode comes out. Hopefully it's going to be all ready to go. So super excited about that. But AU's been an absolutely incredible place, a place that I do a lot of business and networking out of. So if you are in the St. Louis area, haven't been up here just yet, send me a message. Let's get that on the books. Today we're live here at Adventure Unknown in Fenton, Missouri. We have today's guest who I'm meeting for the first time today. We tried to get this podcast scheduled a couple months ago. I was sick, then he was busy, but we've been connected online for quite some time. I followed his content, everything that he's doing for a little bit now. He's someone that I love to follow. He has a ton of energy. He has a lot more going on than myself, which says a lot, and I can't wait to dive into all that stuff today. So my guest today is Adam Marburger. Adam, welcome to the show.
Happy to be here. Happy to finally be here.
Yeah, man.
Thank you again for the invite. Excited.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm excited to dive in because we were just talking, off air. I'm like, man, what all are you doing? You're traveling a lot. You're doing all stuff. You just got back from the Bahamas. So tell the audience kind of like who Adam is, everything you got going on.
I'm a work in progress.
Aren't we all?
I live my life in a couple different buckets. I'm in the automotive bucket. I spent a lot of years in automotive. I got a bucket of real estate. I've got a bucket of martial arts. I've got some other side buckets that I invest in. I'm in the AI world. I'm actually in the film industry as well. So I dabble in a whole lot of different things.
Yeah.
But my primary love, I will say, is automotive real estate and jiu-jitsu. Those are my three buckets I do most of my business in. So, yeah.
So how did it all start?
13 years old. I was, I love telling the story, actually.
Yeah.
My father lived in a very middle-class household. We always had what we needed, not necessarily what we wanted.
Sure.
But my dad was always stressed about money, always tension in the house. And I remember one day very vividly, he pulled out his bill box once a month. He'd pull out his bill box and just seeing his anger and how frustrated he was. And I knew then, I was like, I definitely don't want that.
Yeah.
So started a paper route, had a paper route for a year, then asked for 2 more paper routes. I learned salesmanship as a paper boy. I learned how to ask for tips based on the value that I gave my clients. And that's where it started right there. I learned how to make money at 13.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love hearing those stories because my parents yelled at me, but I started selling stuff on eBay, like stuff that my brother wasn't using or I wasn't using. And then I'm like, that was at like 16, right after I got my driver's license. I'm packaging everything up and then I'm going and selling it. And who knows if I was making any money, but it was just that rush.
Oh yeah.
Right. That I'm like, hey, like you're kind of making money and you're doing things that most kids aren't doing, especially in today's day and age.
Yeah.
So you kind of talk about that kind of being the spark, and then now you're sitting here in all these different buckets. What was the evolution like that after?
Yeah. So evolution was high school. I don't want to say I had a rough past, but there was a couple years of me being a degenerate, doing things I shouldn't be doing, chasing things I shouldn't be chasing. But I always knew that I wanted to work.
Yeah.
I had enough credits in high school to get out early. So my senior year in high school, my first class of the day was PE, tough class. And then I had foods. And then I went and worked at a local Italian restaurant. Okay. Second semester, I had PE and advanced foods.
Wow.
And then went and worked at the local restaurant. I loved being in the kitchen. I loved cooking. After I graduated, my boss, who was an actual car salesman at a Toyota store, he left the dealership to open this restaurant. He came to me, he says, I got good news, bad news. I said, give me the bad. He goes, we're closing the restaurant. I said, give me the news. He goes, you're going with me to the dealership. And I was like, whoa, pump the brakes. What? I'm not selling cars.
Yeah.
It took 90 days or so because I went to this other local, I went to Pasta House. There was a pasta house in Alton.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there for a couple of months and then he ended up getting me into the dealership. And so I started in the automotive industry at a very young age. I was 18 years old. And that's really, I went from selling cars for about 2.5 years. And then I got into the finance department. I was the one responsible for loan origination, helping clients get loans approved and et cetera. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Crazy how, those circumstances that are like not planned or whatever end up kind of circling back and just being like the greatest gift.
Yeah. I never raised my hand at 15 and said, I want to be a car salesman.
Yeah.
And I still tell people, because it's hard. Like I'm a serial entrepreneur, right? I have all these things. So when I'm sitting down at the swim up bar at the Bahamas, well, what do you do?
Yeah.
I don't want to go into that. I'm an entrepreneur. No, I'm a car salesman.
Yeah.
I told people I'm a car salesman.
Yeah. Yeah. So talk about from there, right? So you're in the finance department doing all that stuff after being a car salesman. Where's all this stuff kind of shake out today?
Great question. So I started dabbling in real estate. 2005, I started my real estate company. Wow. And tell you what, those were some fun times back then.
Yeah.
The deals you could get lending institutions to do before 2008 were fantastic.
Yeah.
The market was very sexy. Post the crash or pre-crash.
Yeah.
So I started buying, I found a wheelhouse in Alton and Godfrey.
Okay.
I started buying up every brick ranch I could get my hands on. Okay. And so I was in the dealership, but started building up a real estate portfolio. Then I started getting into some multifamily. And then I crept up into 2017. I found myself in a kind of a tough spot. I was sick and tired of grinding 50 hours a week in retail automotive. I was making all the money. I mean, I had a massive salary. Overnight, I walked away. I had a situation with my daughter that kind of made me, not a bad spot. I was home late from work. I was supposed to take her to the park, and I was there late at the dealership. And she started comparing me to the neighbor's dad. The neighbor's dad's a school teacher. She's like, well, he's always home. And I said, well, Daddy does this, that. I was defending myself to my 6-year-old. She just wants my time.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about the hours or any of those things. So I went out into the garage. I called my boss. I said, hey, got about 90 days left. And so I transitioned out of retail at that point and then went on to the other side, the entrepreneur agent side, to where, we bring products to car dealers and they sell those products to the retail customer. So that transition happened in 2017 for me. Founded my company, Ascent Dealer Services, early 2019. So
that's awesome, man. I have a 2.5-year-old, and it's crazy even when I'm on my phone now. Like he like, Dad, phone down.
It's awesome.
They pick out everything at such a early age. And as we were just talking about before, is like, for the highest performing people, it's not us. You see people that are out there that literally just waste time. Like they'll waste time on their phones. Or like I tell my wife, and I have to tell myself sometimes, I'm like, man, I don't enjoy being on this thing. It's just there's stuff that's happening at all times. And so our brains are so wired to do it. How did you have that epiphany moment where you were just like, hey, there's got to be something else where I can make all this work? Like that had to have been like a very scary thing to just, hey, boss, I'm out.
It was very scary. My boss, still one of my best friends. He's a mentor to me. One of the best entrepreneurs I know. His name's Craig Schmitz. He's always been there for me. He knew I was destined for more. Yeah. Like he is probably one of the proudest people of me. So it sucked because I was there for 17 years, 15 years there, but I did spend a couple of years over at the Suntrip Automotive Group working for Butch and Craig Suntrip, which awesome experience. But it was scary when you're making close to $500,000 a year and you jump off the deep end to making zero. I remember taking 90 days off, not working, and I'm seeing my account go from here to here to here. And I'm starting to go, whoa, wait a minute. I'm used to money being deposited in my account, right?
Yeah.
And so it was very, very scary. And I tell people this, everybody likes to throw the word entrepreneur out there. It's a very sexy word, right? But there were years of darkness. Drained out my entire savings account, I mean, I went through all of my investments. Thank God for real estate. Real estate was the vehicle that allowed me to do it, actually.
Yeah.
I leveraged my equity in real estate to be able to build my company, because it was the first 36 months of building the company were brutal.
Yeah.
There was a time, Quick Trip, best gas station in the world. I think us St. Louis peeps can appreciate that.
Yeah, love it.
I'm pulling into Quick Trip in 2019. And I've got my story, you know, the co-founder of Ascent passed away, took his own life. Very, very dark time in my life. April 1st, 2019. Fast forward a couple months after that, there was a time pulling into Quick Trip one morning. I didn't know if I had enough money in my checking account to put gas in my car. That was 2019. It's kind of a long time ago, but it wasn't a long time ago if you really think about it.
Yeah.
So it was dark. We struggled. It was very, very, very difficult, but we stayed the course and we turned the corner on it. So yeah.
Man. I mean, so many different things come in my mind, but people see where you're at right now, or they see where I'm at right now. I get messages all the time, and they're just seeing, or they're just meeting me now. I'm like, man, I've been through a lawsuit with my ex-business partner. I had a 6-month-old at the time, type 1 diabetic, lost all my medical benefits, basically forced out of my own company because 2 of us as partners went to the other one and we're just like, hey, we're out. And in that moment, right, it's like that do or die thing. Do I go and I just get a job and fold the cards in? And so many moments I was like seconds or days away from just doing that. And then I hear stories like this too. And it's like, man, that's what this is all about.
Amen.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so what would you tell the person that is maybe not in that situation yet, but thinks, hey, man, I'm unbreakable. And there's all these things that are going so well, but they haven't really faced that hardship yet in business.
Well, what I would say is it's coming.
Yeah. Yes.
Nobody's done great things without adversity. Like you're going to fall hard.
Yeah.
The moments of darkness are a real thing. But I talk about this all the time. It's hard to appreciate a plateau or a setback in the moment. But I tell young folks to try to celebrate that stuff. If you're in a setback or in a plateau or that season, I tell people to kind of sit back and look at it. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Who do I need to reach out to? Like a lot of times we self-sabotage ourselves too. We're not self-aware. And so that's why we have to reach out to other people that are doing the things that we want to do to help us in that setback to get us out of it, because it's coming. It's 100% coming. No entrepreneur that's built a big company hasn't had seasons of just flat out darkness. It's going to happen, you know? But the key though is the good stuff doesn't come without it. So for those that are hesitant and they're like, oh my goodness, I don't want to fall into that season. Well, here, you never know if you never go. Like if you decide not to go, you're going to get what you got now. And if you're cool with that, stick around, right? But if you want more, which there is a lot more to have, you're going to fall on your butt a few times. You know?
How did you get out of that? Like what happened after that moment? And you mentioned the Quick Trip story, and then obviously you're here.
So my journey is very special. February 2019, my stepfather passed away, very close to him, had a stroke on Friday, died on Sunday. April 1st, my business partner took his own life. In May, my ex-wife's grandfather, who was my mentor, patriarch of the family, he died of cancer. Then next month, my wife and I have 13 years filed for divorce. So now I'm living in my mom's spare bedroom in her house. She just lost her soulmate. She's grieving. I'm grieving. I went on a 90-day, talk about debauchery. I mean, I was a complete idiot. I did everything you shouldn't do. Okay. Everything you shouldn't do. Running with the wrong crowd, doing all the wrong things. Woe is me, victim mindset. The world's not fair. That's the moment I lived in. Okay. Until one morning, it was late August. I'm brushing my teeth and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I looked in the mirror and I wrote my book. It's called You're the Effing Problem, A Guide to Getting Out of Your Way. A lot of people are like, Adam, you're a Christian. How dare you use the F word? Well, I use the F word because that's what I said to myself. I go, Adam, you're the effing problem. Got on my knees. I begged God for forgiveness and guidance. I then took a look at my circle. I talked to a mentor. He's like, here's what I want you to do. Grab a legal pad and pen, which I love legal pads and pens. He goes, write down all the people over the last 90 days that you're spending all your time with. And then next to that column, I want you to write the value they're bringing into your life. And then next to that column, what value you bringing into their life. And then next to that is their levels of reciprocation. So I went through and realized that, man, I'm running with people. There's no reciprocation. I'm running with one-way relationships. I'm running with the wrong people that don't want to elevate and grow. So then I made decisions to cut people out of my circle, and then I found a new circle. I started running with people doing big things. I reached out to Chris Saraceno, very high-level entrepreneur author, and I said, hey, will you mentor me? Will you give me some help? Because I just read his book, The Theory of Five, and he went through some of the stuff I'm going through. So he lifted me up and guided me. So those were the things. Making the decision to get out of my own way. I was the problem. The whole time. So I basically had to get out of my own way, reach out to other people that were doing big things, and that's how I got out of it.
Man, I can relate a lot to that. And I think that is one of the things that as a first-time entrepreneur, it really doesn't really matter if you're an entrepreneur or not, but it's even way more important when you're running your own business is I've had to go through those seasons where I've had to cut people out of my life, friends, family, the people that you thought were like lifers in your stuff. And you just take a look and you go through an exercise like that, or even just a realization, and you're like, wow, everything I thought was real was not. And you really have to go into, and I call it like an alter ego moment where you're like, hey, I have to become this new person. And with that means breaking free from all the things that are holding me back.
Amen to that, 100% on that. And then you said something a few minutes ago, like people, friends and family, they see all the good stuff. They don't necessarily know the bad. That phrase, it must be nice, must be nice. Oh yeah, must be real nice. You don't know what it took to get the things. You see the vacations and the cars and the houses. They don't realize the grit and the struggle and the sleepless nights. They don't understand those things. And then also, to piggyback off what you just said, some of your biggest haters are disguised in the form of family. I found out going through my darkest moments where I needed people the most, my own family wasn't there. And then a lot of my same family, they look back now and they hate. They gossip behind me, talk about you behind your back. You know, it's amazing how it works. But what I have found by reading all the books from the greats and working with all these high-level billionaires, multimillionaires, we all have the same story. It's a very similar story. The more you do, the more people are going to hate on you for it. It's just a recipe. And I tell the younger generation to know that's coming too. Yeah, that's coming too. And a lot of people don't like to be disliked. A lot of people don't like people talking about them or hating on them. But if you're not doing great things, I mean, if you don't have haters, you're not doing enough. That's what Grant Cardone talks about all the time. Uncle G says it. Must be true, right?
Well, and it's one of those things, like I remember, so I went from medical device sales to entrepreneurship full-time in 2020. And my mentor, who's still a mentor to this day, was like, Adam, there's so many digital marketers that are out there. You're a dime a dozen. You want to stick out from the crowd. You got to start posting content on social media. And so I did that. And I did it for 90 straight days before signing up my first client directly related from that. And then it was like a snowball effect. And throughout the last 5.5 years, that's where so much of my businesses came from. Other people literally just giving equity inside of their companies to me for all these different consulting reasons. Like, I would not be where I'm at without that. Well, I almost quit very early on because I hadn't posted on social media for like 10 years other than traveling on vacation or doing other dumb shit that I shouldn't put on social media. But that's who I was, right? And then my college friends and high school friends, they're like, Adam, did your Facebook get hacked? Do you think you're Tony Robbins? Do you think you're all that other stuff? And like in the moment, right, I had no like validation that it was going to work, right? So I'm kind of like, just in my little bubble, like, shrugging it off. But like, if I would have let that stop me, I would not be where I'm at today. And then I tell people that all the time that are like, oh, I'm afraid of what people think if I post on social media. I'm like, hey, you're either going to continue doing what you're doing and you don't love this spot, or you're going to go backwards, or you're going to take an opportunity to go do this and you're going to reap the benefits and the rewards of that gap of where you're at to go get that gain. And you're probably going to get shit along the way. I'd rather take that every single day.
Amen.
Whether you do something or don't do something, people are always going to say something.
Amen. Absolutely. And another thing to allude on that, if you have a product or a service that is helping people enhance their lives, changing, saving, and you're not sharing it with the world, who are you then?
Mm-hmm.
Shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about you. It's about them.
Yeah.
I one of my best friends who's my mentor, Steve McKinney, he's a pastor at Grace Church East. He wrote a best-selling book. He calls me one day and he goes, Adam, he goes, you know, you're so active online. I see you built your business online. He goes, I feel awkward. I don't want to feel salesy online. I don't want to push my products online. And I said, shame on you, Steve. Mm-hmm. How many lives will you not save and impact because you're not willing to put yourself online? It's about them. It's about the effect you can have on them. It's not necessarily about you.
Yeah.
And so flip that on its head a little bit and change your mindset on it.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they don't want to put themselves out there online. They're afraid of what they look like, what they sound like. They're worried about their friends going, who are you, Tony Robbins? Like you just said, what do you think you're, Tony Robbins? No, I'm Adam and I'm here to change the world.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So yeah, I tell people to just silence the noise on that stuff. Because here's another, I say this all the time. And you said 90 days. I love what you said. It took me 90 days. Because I tell my sales staff this. What you post today won't pay you today, but it will pay you tomorrow, metaphorically speaking. And it will pay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I tell people all the time. So I went through the business exit for 8 months. I was just doing some consulting stuff. I was running a group teaching people how to do personal branding, some light digital marketing stuff. I had a non-compete and was going through a lawsuit. I never stopped posting content, though, about digital marketing. People didn't even know that I wasn't running an agency unless they heard through the grapevine or whatever. So when I announced that I was going to be relaunching my company, I had the first day 30 companies reach out saying, Adam, we want to sign up. We want to go do it, which is why we've grown so much in the last 18 months. It's because I never stopped. But 18 months in, it's not the 18 months that I'm in doing this. It's the last 5.5 years I've been creating content and doing it. So I'm like, it's that snowball effect. Yeah. Like you can build off of, and whenever you have to start over, pivot, shift, you're building off the years of experience and the momentum and the authority and the brand that you've built, not just whatever you're doing in that quick moment.
Agreed 100%. Yeah. Agreed. It's content. People devour content. People want to watch content and people speak. People like to receive information in the form of video. Yeah. People like watching reels. They like short videos. I've been doing my videos now. My videos are shorter now. You know, I used to put 3, 4-minute market. No. 35, 40 seconds, less than a minute.
Yeah.
People love the content.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's how we communicate today, especially the younger generation.
Absolutely. So talk to us about like what the company does, right? Yeah. So talk to us. It sounds like that kind of obviously took off.
Oh yeah.
Go through all that.
Oh yeah. I'd love to. Yeah. So that's my big boy. Yeah. That's, I say it's my fourth and sometimes favorite child. I have 3 daughters and they're amazing, but they fight a little. But just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah. But Ascent Dealer Services, we are the standard of excellence in F&I. What F&I is, it's finance and insurance. So when you go into a car dealership, you buy a vehicle, and say they give you a lifetime warranty. We provide those insurance products to the dealer. Say you purchase gap insurance. Say you finance a vehicle and you're not putting a bunch of money down and you need gap. We supply gap policies. Say you decide to, most customers call them extended warranties, but they're vehicle service contracts, vehicle service agreements. We provide those products to the dealer. They either give them to the client, the retail customer, or they sell them to the client, the retail customer.
Got it.
So we provide those products. But what differentiates ourselves from the market is our team is former all retail experts. I have former car dealers, people that own car dealerships. Some of the best trainers in the country are on our team. So our dealers, they can go anywhere and get these products. But the company that backs these products, there's very few companies that do what we do. We go in and we train, we mentor, we coach. So the support we bring our stores is kind of unmatched. So that's how we're successful. So, yeah.
I can only imagine that being such a key aspect. It's like, hey, anybody can give you the thing, but I'm giving you the system.
Yeah. That's the key, is value.
Yeah.
We want to provide value. Because if you don't provide value, you're just a commodity. I don't even like using the word client, like, because the dealers we do business with, we go on vacation with. Yeah. I saw that board out there earlier. There's a Napa trip coming up. I went out of town with 2 different sets of clients on a great Napa trip last year. We vacation, we do life together. Yeah. I don't want you peddling my products. Yeah. I want to make money because my dealers want us to make money. Yeah. They want us to make money. And we want to make them more money than we'll ever make. It's about them first. The money shows up by doing the right thing and bringing lots of value. And that's our business model.
Yeah. And incredible. And so you mentioned obviously like the lull or the tough spot in the beginning, what was that breakthrough?
Yeah.
Like where did all this stuff
It's a great question.
end up going to?
Well, at the beginning, when you're posting, you kind of touched on this. Like when you start posting, like you're new, there was a fake it till you make it stage.
Yeah.
There was a fake it till you make it. Imposter syndrome shows up.
Mm-hmm.
You fake it till you make it. It took us, so from 2019, there were a couple great events that happened. I got a major breakthrough and a big deal up in Michigan. I had a major dealer group reach out. I put a training contract together. So a few of these big deals in 2020, even right after that whole COVID phase, I was on airplanes. I was on Southwest flights and Delta flights, like me and 7 other people a few times. It was pretty weird. But we had a couple big deals that came that early COVID that just spiraled. And then I started getting on stages, put a deal together with a couple major OEMs, and then it just started spiraling. Then I started adding teammates. And now I've got a C-suite and a partial exit. I sold a little chunk of my company, not all of it. I sold a chunk, so I was able to have a partial exit. I brought somebody on my team that's better than me. I'm the guy, like, I'm not an integrator. Have you read Traction? Okay.
I have my integrator now. It's
okay.
a game changer.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that. You could probably tell I'm a visionary.
Yeah, same.
I'm not an integrator. Yeah. Craig Schmitz, I talked about earlier, my mentor, he taught me back in the day, Adam, figure out whatever you got to do to make the deal. We'll clean it up later. It's like, let's run and run hard. So our company's based off Traction.
Yeah.
You know, we have our quarterlies and we all have our own rocks, and that we run Traction.
Love it.
And so I brought in a true integrator to get out of the way. And now I'm truly kind of up here working on that end. I was a control freak. I thought I had to be in every meeting. I thought I had to be in every situation. I was hurting my company. I was holding my company back.
Yeah.
And then I brought in somebody, and now we're boom, 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 scaling out. So it's a beautiful thing.
Man, maybe it's just the name Adam. There's so many.
It's Adam. Oh yeah.
Story in my
it's a hell of a name.
Yeah. Well, we had our, like, my integrator. Her and I worked together a little bit at our last agency, and she came over to just be a manager inside the company. Within 2 weeks, I'm going to her. I'm like, hey, I know you probably know why I'm reaching out, but like, I know you just started here and you're trying to get your bearings, but like, I really need you in the integrator seat. And she had just went from another agency where she went through all the EOS stuff, the implementation.
So awesome.
We had already all kind of done it, but like, she brought everything together. And I was in Nicaragua last week. We just had our quarterly meeting last week, and did the EOS thing. And it is such a game changer, because it's like, I can go do more of what I'm good at without having to freak out. Did I miss something? Is there all these things that need my attention? And it's like, no, kind of like what you said earlier, like, let Adam just go make the thing happen. And we'll figure out all the rest.
Yeah. And the thing is too, it is a proven framework. It's not, this isn't guessing.
Yeah.
This works.
Yeah.
And then I followed up, because my first 6 months with my integrator, see, James Mercer, he's glass half empty. I'm glass half full.
Yeah.
So we don't always agree on everything. So we could butt heads every now and then. I love him dearly. He's my friend.
Yeah.
But after reading Rocket Fuel, now I get it.
Yep.
Because before I read Rocket Fuel, I'm just like, well, I'm the CEO. Like, I should be able, you should just not bow down to me, but at least take my advice more than not.
Yeah.
But then when you read Rocket Fuel, you truly understand the relationship between visionary and integrator.
Yeah.
And after reading that, it's been brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Not every idea is a winner.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of guy, when I want to idea act.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's got to fit into Traction.
Yeah.
We got to bring it into the, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shaking my head because I know it all well. So how did all the other stuff come up? You know, obviously we talked a little bit about real estate, but you talked about the jiu-jitsu and martial arts stuff. And then you talked about some of these other deals, AI. Where does that kind of all come into the fold?
Yeah. So real estate I've always been in, but jiu-jitsu, I'm a proud black belt under Kyle Watson. I used to fight MMA. I've been doing no-gi jiu-jitsu. I was a high-level competitor in the gi and jiu-jitsu for about 11 years. I decided a couple of years ago, just the competition really, when I was competing so often, it got in the way of business, because all I could think about was competing.
Yeah.
So I decided to kind of put the competing down, open up my own academy. And so Alt Elite Jiu-Jitsu, it's my business, I would say, that brings me the most joy with the least amount of revenue. Having said that, we're really cranking now. We've got systems in place, trying to run that like an EOS as well, which is a little different. But I've got a great general manager, so my gym is really, really moving nicely right now. I got into a deal with AI. I'm an investor in an AI company in automotive that's really blowing up. So it's really fun. That's a passive investment. That, I do a little marketing, some things with these guys. I'm in a mastermind with Danelle Delgado. Danelle Delgado is one of the most ferocious business people on the planet, most connected woman I've ever met on planet Earth. So she brought me a deal in the film industry. So I put a passive investment into that. I'm just going to get a return on that deal. So I look at things and I get into things when they make sense. Right now, I just did a deal down in Florida that took most of my cash. So right now I told my assistant, no more. Adam needs to take a break.
It's some fun.
I need 120 days. Let's just deal with what I've got. Then I can find another deal later. So right now I'm kind of like, I need to slow down and focus on what I've got. So.
So let's talk about that mindset shift from doer and entrepreneur. You talk about like, hey, I was in the business a lot. You have your integrator in there now, and then you have these investments. How does that mindset have to shift where you invest money and you're like, hey, I kind of want to like see what I do, but it is just passive where it's like, hey, there's not a whole lot of Adam involved. Talk about that.
I would love to talk a lot about that because in a perfect world, dreamland for me, that's all I do. Ascent Dealer Services, I'm in this to win it. Like for probably the next 10 years. Will there be a sale one day? Maybe, maybe not, but I won't always be actively in that business, right? I would prefer to have more passive investments. Obviously, to have more passive investments, I need to create more wealth for myself because if you don't have the cash, you can't get into these deals. But in a perfect world over time, I find the right opportunities. I could put some capital in there and just get a return. I mean, that's the way you truly want to live. I want to be in a perfect world. I want to be on a beach with my family, just looking at accounts and statements and money. I want to see continued return on investment. That's what I want. So
Well, I kind of started that path. So we bought our first short-term rental back in November of last year. So finally got into real estate.
Congrats.
Have equity in a roofing company now, an outdoor living company.
Fantastic.
So doing some different things now. We just sold our auto glass company that we had for about 4.5 years back in October of last year. So I'm kind of like reaching that point now where I'm starting to diversify. And it's just so interesting, right? Because that auto glass company, I started it in 2021, just off of a simple website that I built, and it started ranking and generating all these phone calls. But I never repaired or replaced auto glass myself. I said, hey, we're going to start this company, but I need the company to run without me because I don't know how to even do any of this stuff. So it's cool to see that thing go from infancy to exit without my involvement really, other than the marketing side in it. Now, lost a lot of money in the first year and learned a lot of lessons, but it kind of opened my eyes up to business is business about 80% of the time. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, you got to worry about hiring and firing and customers and marketing and sale, all that stuff. It's that 20% that makes the industry different, that makes you better than your competition, that all those different things. But it's like, man, like this entrepreneurial game, there's so many different ways to skin the cat. There's so many different ways to make money. There's so many different lessons to be learned. And it's like, man, you just got to keep figuring out that next level because that's where you're going to be able to create more wealth.
I agree with that 100%. And the way I look at entrepreneurship, it's kind of like, I don't want to sound silly when I say it's a hobby. It's kind of it's a sport. There's nothing more fun than looking at a deal or being involved in a deal and even saying no to deals. Like I have deals that have come across my desk that I'll look through just so I can learn more about that specific industry, even though I'm not in the right place or capacity to be able to be in the deal at that moment. But I just like to learn stuff. For me, I don't think I will ever stop. There's no chance. Retirement. What is retirement? Retirement means like you're done. Like I'm never done. To me, it's just such a fun sport to just look at deals and be creative. I love the creativity that comes with it. I'll never quit.
No, I mean, never. I agree like wholeheartedly with that. And it was one of the reasons why I just got like complacent in medical device sales. I was 27 and had just made $200,000. I didn't even know what a lot of money was. Like I thought over $100,000 was going to be a lot growing up. And then I did that. And then all of a sudden I'm there. And then it's like, you have all of the retirement accounts, and then you have the employee stock, and you have all these benefits. And then you're just like, but man, I'm traveling. I'm gone 75% of the time. Everybody else is controlling my schedule. Like, am I making good money? Yeah, but it's not fulfilling. And then you get into entrepreneurship, and I don't pay myself for the first 9 months, but I'm having the most fun I've ever had creating, thinking, learning, losing, winning, all that stuff. And then it's just like, man, it is that hobby, but it's also that just like growing up playing sports where you're like, man, I'm in it, and I just love the game.
Well, and the game also equates to this one word that's the most beautiful word in entrepreneurship. It's freedom.
Yeah.
So like, everybody always asks me, like, what's your goals? What does success mean? I mean, yeah, Ascent is going to be $100 million plus exit.
Yeah.
No questions asked. We will have $100 million real estate portfolio. No questions asked. Those things will happen. Okay. However, that doesn't define success. That's not success.
Yeah.
What success to me is doing what I want, when I want, with whoever I want.
Yes.
Like to me, success in my season right now is getting to take my kids to school. Success is getting to pick them up at 3:00. Success is I'm going to wear sweatpants and a hoodie today. Success is not answering to anyone. Now I don't use the word employee. I don't have employees. We have team members. I do work and serve for them. I work for them. They don't work for me. So there is a level of, I don't commitment there.
Yeah.
There's a responsibility because I'm responsible for my team and then their families.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's amazing to serve my team and families because every organization that I have, the way we hire is so different. Our culture is so amazing. We don't have days off, vacation time. No, it's you take as much as you need.
Yeah.
You need to take it off. Okay. It's everything's results based. Because I was in an atmosphere working as an employee so many times you have to beg to be a father.
Yeah.
You have to beg to take a weekend off. Oh, and you get that weekend off that you begged for, your phone's blowing up. You feel guilty.
Yeah.
That culture will never exist in any of my organizations.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I love it. I absolutely freaking love it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So how, in all these different companies, you talk about you doing some marketing and branding, how has your personal brand, right? The Adam brand benefited from you just creating content, joining, networking groups and masterminds and coaching, and then the stages and then writing the book? I'm sure it's all compounded plus the podcast now. Like, how has that evolutionized?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I know one thing in the sales world is people want to do business with people that they like.
Yeah.
Period. So how can you get somebody to like you? Share your life with them online. So me sharing, I don't hide anything.
Yeah.
I share everything. I share all the bad. I don't share all the good.
Yeah.
I've shared a lot of the bad stuff. I've script a lot. I still script stuff.
Yeah.
Share the good, share the bad, be vulnerable, be authentic. And then what I have found, 80% of our new account acquisitions with the Scent Dealer Services have come from inbound leads, not paid advertising.
Yeah.
Inbound organic leads that come into my inbox because over time, dealer partners, call them client, whatever you want to call them, they will follow me and they're like, I can relate to this guy.
Yeah.
And then when I book a meeting, jump on an airplane, I go meet this potential client.
Yeah.
It's like, instead of it being cold or even, I get hugs and I get tours. I'm meeting everybody. And then we're sitting down and we're not really even talking business. Talk a little business and it's different. So to answer the question, to land the plane on it, it's significantly impacted my closing ratio.
Yeah.
It's easier to put deals together because I'm authentic. Who I am online is exactly who I am in person. So when people meet me, it's like, holy cow, this is you are what you say you are.
This is the guy.
So it's truly changed everything. And I tell I'll echo like any young entrepreneur, up and coming entrepreneur, you have to put your authentic self out there consistently, daily. What you do daily matters. And then over time, your clients they're going to want to do business with you.
Yeah. Recipe for success.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah.
Oh man, this has been awesome. I'm glad we were able to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is a great
episode.
Promise me you'll come on mine. I got to have you. You got to reciprocate.
I will.
You got to reciprocate.
Yeah, I would love that
Yeah.
opportunity. So, let's finish up the episode. Where can people stay connected with you online? Where's the best places? All that good stuff. Shout out the podcast. All that.
Yeah. Well, best place is I do have a lot of people copy my profile on Facebook, which is weird how Facebook lets people do this. Even when you report it, they don't take. So Adam Marburger on Facebook, there's a blue check mark. That's the only one that's me. Awesome. Okay. Instagram, Adam P. Marburger. I kind of suck at Instagram, but I do get on there. I do share some stuff on Instagram, but I'm more Facebook and LinkedIn. Adam Marburger on LinkedIn, Humans That Builds My Podcast, and adammarburger.com. That's the easiest way to get hold of me.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Well, appreciate you for the opportunity. Yeah, thank you. This was great. Yeah.
And we'll put all that stuff in the show notes so that way you can stay connected with Adam. Thank you so much for listening or watching today's podcast. Share this stuff on social media. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, definitely do that. Leave a comment with your thoughts on the episode. And then download all the podcasts. You can do that on the podcast platform of your choice. Review the show so that way more people can find out about it. Share it on social media. And remember, authority isn't built overnight. It's built over time. We'll see you next week.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode. We sure do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you consume podcasts. This way you'll get notifications as new episodes become available. If you feel so inclined, please leave us a review. We sure do appreciate it. Until next time, friends.